Okay, Robert, I have another one of your quads finished up. This time we went with a Airblade eclair. So here it is. This is one of the nicer eclairs that I've built. I've built many eclairs. I love the eclair. Pretty awesome frame. I've always been a big fan of it. I've always had one that I keep around. Because what I do usually is I'll build up a quad, fly it a couple times, and then sell it, build another one. But I've always kept ones around that I really liked, and the eclair has always been one of them. But enough of that. You guys have seen the eclair from me a bunch. So let's just run through the parts real fast. So it's the eclair 2.5-inch frame. It's the V2 eclair. I'm hoping that a new version comes out soon, maybe for springtime or something. That'd be pretty cool. There's not really a lot you could do to this to make it any better, but maybe change the look a little bit might be cool. But anyway, eclair 2.5-inch frame. The TPU parts, they're all off Thingiverse, and I'll try, if I can remember, to leave a link to these if anybody wants them, because these are what you need if you want to run a Runcam Owl in this frame. These prints will probably work in other frames too, but it was made for this particular frame. You can see the little pieces on the sides of the camera right here. Those are what's actually needed to hold the camera. You can see from the top that they're holding the camera in place, and then there's screws holding the pieces in place. And then it kind of just sandwiches together. So these prints are actually not only made for this frame, but they're actually made for a specific setup, which is the Runcam Owl, and then the Eachine DTX03, which is a VTX with a built-in DVR. And I didn't use that on this because it wasn't really necessary, and I'm not really a big fan of that VTX, although it does work good. And I did do another build with that VTX in this. I did a red one. If you watch or follow my Facebook or whatnot, you've probably seen it on there. But anyway, the stack is Ori 32 and a Talon F7. The receiver is a RXSR, and to bind it, it's on the same side as the USB, and it's right behind the flight controller. You probably won't be able to see it on camera, but when you have it in person, you'll be able to see I made it to where the bind button is just right here. You can get to it with tweezers or something small. I was able to bind it up very easily, no problems. Bind it in D16. Okay, so the Owl, it runs on 3.3 volts, but it does come with a BEC, which makes it be able to do 5 to 24 volts. But I didn't want to really run it off the battery or anything, so I kept the regulator in there, so you can see it. It's right there. But I ran it to the 5 volt out on the VTX, and the VTX is the Unify Pro 32. It's right up here on the top part, and you can get to the button on this side of it right here. And then you got your Axie Micro. It's the short version, which works out really nice on this build. The motors, same as on your Hayabusa V2. It's the Rotorex 1107s. Love these motors. They're awesome. This is going to be pretty sweet to fly at night. If you ever seen any videos of the Owl, this thing came out a long time ago, but it's still a pretty badass camera, and it does really, really good at night. So, got a buzzer right here, and I think that's about it. So, it's already bound up to my radio. So yeah, let's get it going here.
Welcome to OpenTF. Switch warning.
Alright, so first we'll show you the video. Oops, wrong button. Wrong band. There you go. The colors look amazing on this camera too. I just love it, man. You don't see too many people using this camera anymore. Or even when it first came out, I didn't see a ton of people using it. But it's a badass camera. Look at those colors. They just look amazing. They pop. Yeah, it looks really nice. Alright, so let me turn this around. And here we go. Tons of power. And this is on 3S. Nice and quiet. Nice and smooth. It's running the newest Betaflight 3.5.5, and it's also running 16K gyros and 16K PID loop, so it flies pretty smooth. I did tune it a tiny bit, but I didn't do a full tune, so it's good how it is though. You're good to go, so you don't need to worry about tuning it, but it could use a little bit more of a tune. Maybe yeah, the motors just don't even get warm, so I think it's good to go how it is. It just depends. I mean, if you're gonna, I don't know if I would fly 4S on this. I think I would stick to 3S. You could even do 2S, and it would fly quite nice. So there it is. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll get this thing boxed up and send you over some tracking. It'll go out tomorrow morning, Monday. And that should do it. All right.